badass boys and badass babes? It is the vixen of Vatican City herself. The one, the only, Virgo the Vixen. And as always, hit those likes, subscribe button, smash them, hit them, make me happy. You know where they're at. Today, we are going to be doing a little bit of conspiratorial theories, mixed with some truth. And basically, we are getting to today's subject that Americans are the most craziest people on the planet. Now, why do I say that? Well, first of all, let's get into the conspiratorial part. And again, this is just my belief, conspiratorial belief. Do I have evidence? No. But I think alien civilizations did come here at one time. They were trying to help us, and then something just went totally nuts, and they said, we're not coming back. I think when aliens fly past the planet, they purposely, lock all their doors, windows, and stuff because they don't want to pick up any hitchhikers from Earth, and I really can't blame them. And the reason I say that is, and again, conspiratorial belief, have no evidence, is because of America. And the things that we do, we are the craziest people on the planet. Some honorable mentions, gotta give credit to the Aussies, they're always in the top 3, and Russia. Why do I say Russia? Do I like Russia? No, for the record, I don't like Russia. But then again, the crazy stuff they do, I have to put them in the top 3 at least. But then again, when you come from a society where vodka is literally on tap in every house, you kind of have to throw them up there. Again, conspiratorial belief. Now, let's look into why I say Americans are the craziest people on the planet. All right, you have to look. We've only been this little game called America for about 250 years or so. All right, so we're a little bit behind the curve. But to be fair, in that time, we have leaps and bounds of, how can we say this politely? Craziness and stupidity that the world will never forget. All right, now I'm going to give 4 examples of just how crazy us Americans are, okay? And the first one is the X Games. Now, if you haven't seen the X Games or you haven't heard the X Games, please do some research because these are games where we do crazy stuff on bikes and other vehicles. And we do these tricks, and they're awesome. Don't get me wrong, the X Games are fun to watch, but any normal, rational human being would go, why would I want to do that? I could break every bone in my body. I could be severely paralyzed, injured. Again, we as Americans, we when someone says we can't do it, we take that as a personal challenge as to not only should we do it, but we should do it to a level where everyone on the planet wants to join us. And I think that's what makes America's craziness infectious, because people around the world are looking at us saying, you know what? That's crazy. I have to join you. That is crazy in itself. And that's another reason why I think Americans are crazy. Because number one, the X Games, it has brought world attention to these sports. And I won't go too much into them because I'll be honest, not a big fan of it, but I gotta respect it. Okay? So we have the X Games. All right. The next thing, the second thing that I'm going to say that makes America crazy, roller coasters. Okay. Some people thought, hey, a Ferris wheel just goes around and around. You get a nice view. America? No, no, no. We don't want a Ferris wheel. We want something, they could go up and then down. A nice little ride, a little twist, a little turn here. Not America. Not Americans. Guess what? We want to amplify it to where the G-forces are the equivalency of going through training with NASA. And why do we do that? Because we can. We are crazy enough. And if you don't believe me, there's a couple places called like Six Flags or other amusement parks. I'm not endorsing any of these places, but I'm just saying, you go to places like this where there are signs that say, or waivers that you have to sign saying you might die from this ride. Okay? As Americans, normal people would just go look at that. It's like, that could kill me if I got on there. I could possibly, be traumatized. But we as Americans not only want roller coasters, but we think of more in, how can we say, dangerous ways for them to do some crazy things. Like running it backwards instead of forwards. We're going to run it backwards. It's like, oh my God. And again, the rest of the world sees this And for this one, I think the rest of the world has said, you know what, America, you're on your own. We ain't touching you on this one. Because I don't know of too many places around the world that have this kind of crazy thing. I'm pretty sure there is. Maybe in the larger cities, like in maybe Thailand or somewhere in the Middle East, you might find something like that. But let's face it, we as Americans, I think when it comes to roller coasters, no one's going to top us anytime soon. The third thing that I think that makes America the most craziest nation on the planet. All right, and this one, I gotta say, is really a stretch. It's a conspiratorial belief, is reality TV. All right, we can't come up with ideas on telling a story, or we can't come up with an idea on how to, entertain people. So we decided somewhere along the line that we are going to put a camera in our houses and let the rest of the country see just how messed up our family is. All right, I'm sorry, but my family, I could give you grade material all day long. I just don't want the world to know about it. And it's just like, you're kidding me. So let me get this straight. You have mental health problems, and there are several TV shows that this could qualify for where the people on there obviously have severe mental issues that obviously need help. And I'll let you decide which show I'm talking about here, where the family members, and why are they always rich? I gotta ask that question. Why aren't we seeing some, just a regular family, just, working out there, they're out there, they're working, they're not rich, they're not, how can we say this, lavish? I don't think it would be a good storyline for the American public. I think it would be a better storyline than what's going on, because think about this way. If we're going to do reality TV, let's put it back where the working class is, okay? And this is where kind of the conspiratorial belief kind of fits in. Because who wants to watch a bunch of rich people bitch about, oh my God, I have to use the salad fork, or oh my God, I actually have to drive my vehicle. I want to see the stuff that regular Americans face, like coming home, husband looks at wife and says, bitch, have you been sleeping with the mailman lately? The common things that we all face. Or, honey, why is there, I asked you to bring home hot dogs. Why is there this? I want the stuff that we all face as couples, as life, as Americans. It's like, baby, did you pay the light bill? And I want to see that challenge us. How are they going to pay the light bill? I think that would be more entertaining than listen to some rich bitch, how can we say this politely, cry about her manicure or her hair or her fluffy poo-poo dog. I think as Americans, this is just my conspiratorial belief, but I think we're crazy to actually watch these things. Finally, the final thing that I think America tops us all, that tops us as number one crazy of all the world. I mean, we have the X Games, we have reality TV, we have roller coasters, but it is nothing compared to this event, and it is called rodeo. All right? I'm going to trash rodeo, and so if you love rodeo, you probably don't want to watch this part. If you're like me, who always roots for the animal in a rodeo, then this is the part you definitely want to watch, because as Americans, I think we are crazy to, how can I say this politely? Look at an animal with long horns weighing half a ton, okay? And looking at this animal and saying, you know what? I could ride that for 8 seconds with one hand in the air and one hand strapped to the animal. Now, maybe that wouldn't be so bad. And I'm using maybe in the loosest possible sense of the word. So what do? We decide we are going to aggravate this animal. Horses or bulls, it doesn't matter. We do the same thing with horses. We basically aggravate them. And I won't mention the names, or just say not the names, but the ways we aggravate them. But I would not recommend researching unless you want to be scarred. But we aggravate these animals to the point where they're going to kick, buck, and try to glory stomp the rider of whoever is dumb enough to get on the animal. And we think that this is a good time. Now, with all of these things that I mentioned here, I think alcohol is the contributing factor of why we as Americans, do we have good alcohol? One could say yes, one could say no. But I think we've ingested way too much cheap rock gut whiskey and cheap beer, and all of a sudden we come up with ideas like, Ralph, I know it's lonely on here by the fire, but you see that there bowl? Now, Ralph, now calm down. Don't worry. I'm not gonna have relations with the bull, but I'm gonna get on top of that animal. Yeah, watch me. I'm gonna ride it. I bet I could hold on for 8 seconds. That's 8 seconds longer than you could hold on to. I bet you I could. I'm serious. Think about this. I think alcohol has played, how can we say this, a contributing factor, especially in the X Games, because I think there was a degree of someone getting high and or having a lot to drink and thinking, okay, I can do this with my bike and or skateboard. And the worst part is they actually do it. Why, rodeo, they just, if you live, I guess you get a trophy or something. Shit, I don't know. I can't tell you because I don't watch it as much. Reality TV, obviously you have to be drunk in order to be on there, because I don't know about you, I don't want my life broadcasted on where everyone can judge it. And then with roller coasters, I don't know about drunk, but one thing I can probably say is I think the first people who went on that roller coaster ride had to be drunk, because they looked at it and said, you know what? This is something I could enjoy after they puke out their lungs, but that's just me. So let's wrap it up. Is Americans the craziest people on the planet? My conspiratorial belief says yes. You're welcome to agree with me, disagree, I want to see in the comments below. Second thing that we've learned today, I think aliens are skipping this planet because they're afraid of the stupid shit that we do on a regular basis. And I guess the third thing that I could take from this video is how the hell do these people in the X Games do those stunts without there being a certain level of, how can we say this, death, destruction, and other things, which I gotta bring to, I guess, one more thing I have to say as Americans, because I just remembered, I guess we're gonna have to go back. There is one more thing that makes America crazy, is demolition derbies. I could go on, but I'm gonna use this one because I forgot about this one until now, or at least that's how I wrote the script. Anyways, with this, we take a perfectly good car, we modify it up, and then we beat the hell out of each other. We ram these cars into each other until this is the funny part, until one car is drivable enough to get off the track. The car that is drivable enough to get off the track is the winner. So I'm going to tell you again, there is definitely alcohol involved with that one. So anyways, my badass boys and badass babes, as you can tell, I think in my conspiratorial belief is, as an American, we are the craziest people on the planet. So I'll let you decide yes or no. Anyways, who's your vixen, and bye-bye.